There's a reason you pressed on this message today. Not randomly, not accidentally. Something in you felt a quiet pull, a subtle nudge you couldn't fully explain. You may have been scrolling, distracted, carrying the weight of a long day. And yet here you are. That is not coincidence. It is alignment. And in this moment, I need you to slow down and listen, because what surrounds you right now is not weakness. It is protection. You have been walking through a season where your strength has been tested in silence. You have smiled when you were tired. You have carried responsibilities without applause. You have absorbed pressure that others never saw. And somewhere deep inside, you began to wonder if anyone truly understood the heaviness you've been holding. The late nights thinking about decisions, the financial calculations, the emotional restraint, the way you second-guess yourself after conversations, the way you replay moments in your mind. I see it. There's been an invisible shield around you these past weeks, even when you felt exposed. Situations that could have escalated did not. Conversations that could have damaged your reputation softened unexpectedly. Doors that closed prevented you from walking into environments that would have drained you further. You called it bad timing. You called it disappointment. But protection often feels like rejection at first. Listen carefully. Not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Some things are removed because they would have weakened your foundation. You have been under pressure, yes, but not abandoned. The fatigue you feel is not from failure. It is from growth. Growth requires reinforcement, and reinforcement requires boundaries. There have been subtle adjustments happening around you. People revealing their true intentions. Hidden tensions surfacing. Misalignments becoming clearer. You are not imagining it. You felt it. The slight shift in tone from someone you trusted. The opportunity that suddenly fell off, even though it looked good on paper. The instinct telling you to wait instead of rush. That is not paranoia. That is discernment strengthening. Your awareness is sharpening because your next level requires clearer vision. Pause for a moment. Breathe in. The anxiety you've been carrying does not mean danger is winning. It means you have been anticipating impact. But the impact you feared has been softened before it could fully reach you. Think back. There were situations that could have spiraled, and they didn't. There were people who tried to undermine your confidence, and somehow their influence lost momentum. There were financial or career concerns that looked threatening, and yet you were still standing, still here, still moving. You are more covered than you realize. Protection does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like delayed plans. Sometimes it looks like unexpected silence. Sometimes it looks like being left out of rooms you thought you needed to enter. You questioned why you weren't included. You questioned why your effort wasn't immediately recognized. But what you did not see was the undercurrent of instability in those spaces. You were redirected before entanglement could occur. There are conversations happening about you that you will never hear because they dissolve before reaching you. There are opinions formed about you that quietly lose power. There are negative intentions that never fully attach to your path. Not because you fought harder, but because you're being guarded in ways that operate beyond surface-level interaction. This is a season of strengthening your perimeter. Emotionally, mentally, energetically. You have been absorbing too much from others. Their stress, their projections, their insecurities, and it has left you feeling heavier than necessary. But awareness is rising now. You are beginning to notice when someone's mood is not yours to carry. You are beginning to sense when a situation requires distance instead of explanation. That shift is protection activating through you. You are not meant to prove yourself in every room. You're not meant to defend your character against every misunderstanding. Some battles are beneath your future. Some conflicts are distractions from your expansion. And here is what you must understand clearly. The pressure around you is not random resistance. It is friction from elevation. As your confidence stabilizes, as your standards rise, as your self-respect strengthens, certain energies cannot remain close to you. That separation may feel lonely at first, but loneliness is often the space where reinforcement takes place. Be still for a moment. The exhaustion you feel is not defeat. It is the recalibration before clarity. You have been asking silently, am I safe making this next move? Am I supported? Am I making the right decisions? And the answer forming around you is yes, but not through noise, through structure, through quiet course correction, through subtle rerouting. There is something that was meant to disrupt your progress that has already been neutralized. You will not see dramatic proof of it. You will simply notice that the storm you expected never fully arrives. The conflict you feared loses intensity. The confrontation dissolves, and you will move forward wondering why it wasn't worse. Because you are guarded. But protection is not passive. It asks something of you in return. It asks you to trust your instincts when they whisper. It asks you to pause before reacting emotionally. It asks you to stop chasing approval from people who are not aligned with your long-term vision. It asks you to tighten your circle, strengthen your focus, and conserve your energy. You have outgrown certain dynamics. You feel it. Conversations that once felt stimulating now feel draining. Environments that once excited you now feel chaotic. This is not negativity. It is awareness expanding. You are being positioned for stability in your career, in your finances, in your relationships, and stability requires filtration. The shield around you is not just defensive, it is selective. It is filtering out what would fracture your confidence at the wrong time. It is delaying what would overwhelm you before you are fully prepared. It is strengthening your internal voice so that external noise cannot easily sway you. You're not fragile. You are refining, and refinement feels uncomfortable. There may be moments in the coming days where you feel a sudden urge to step back from someone. Honor it. There may be a decision that requires you to say no, even when it looks beneficial. Trust that pause. There may be an opportunity that seems perfect but carries subtle tension. Do not ignore that signal. Protection speaks softly. Fear screams. Learn the difference. You are entering a phase where your calm will be your armor. Your restraint will be your strength. Your silence will communicate more power than arguments ever could. And those who once underestimated you will begin to recognize that access to you is no longer casual. Because you are guarded with intention now. There is peace coming, not because challenges disappear, but because your foundation is solidifying. You will begin to notice that your reactions are steadier, your boundaries clearer, your decisions less impulsive. That is not coincidence. That is alignment strengthening under pressure. Something that once made you anxious will soon feel manageable. Something that once felt threatening will lose its emotional grip, and you will realize that you were never as exposed as you feared. You were covered, even in the uncertainty, even in the waiting, even in the quiet. Right now, your task is simple but powerful. Do not break your own boundaries out of loneliness or impatience. Do not lower your standards to avoid temporary discomfort. Do not explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Stand steady. There is reinforcement happening in your life that will reveal itself gradually. The respect you desire is forming. The stability you seek is organizing. The clarity you crave is settling into place. And you will look back at this season and understand why certain doors remain closed, why certain people drifted away, why certain plans stalled. It was not delay for punishment. It was delay for protection. You are not alone in this process. You are being strengthened from the inside out. If this message resonates with you, if you feel the quiet confirmation settling in your chest, type 777 in the comments as a sign that you accept the protection surrounding your life and you are ready to move forward with confidence and steadiness.